I like
I'm
it.
gonna be doing this the whole time.
Oh, thank you,
Rub your
Stu.
hands near the mic.
Oh yeah, I need to get a bag of chips.
I'm sorry that.
Oh, Xanaphans.
I got it.
11's gone live.
I got a tweet that we're live too, and turned my sound off on my phone.
Guess I could. Oh yeah, I got 56 seconds into the Vidoc and then got distracted by you guys. So.
Oh, it's cool. It's
We're
like
fine.
information you probably already know.
That's all you needed to see. You caught the good part.
I know things.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Why am I not seeing you?
I don't know.
Are your eyes closed? That
I'm watching an
happens
ad
to me
right
sometimes.
now.
Oh man,
Says
that's
live,
gonna be a
but
thing here.
I got a black screen, but yeah, I'm here.
Hey, there we are. I have the mighty dog owl next to my
I
super
got
sweet
nothing
logo.
yet. All right, I'll refresh. Come on, baby.
A mighty pug owl. All,
There it
I'll
is.
kneel before.
That's gonna have
So
to be a
good.
thing from now on. And we just have random pictures next to people who don't have cams.
I will send you.
Dude, that's such a good idea. That's such a good idea.
Did you ever see the one when we had Beard Grizzly on? His camera wouldn't work, so I got him a picture, and it was amazing.
Oh,
I wonder if
man.
I still have it.
Hey, if we're doing random pictures, can we just talk for a second, since we're still pre-show, about some of the quality memes coming out of fucking Destiny right now?
Oh my god, dude!
The Aldrin one with the where somebody photoshopped Aldrin's face over Ralph Wiggum's body on the bus, and he's like, "I'm in danger."
When the God Killer's coming after you.
I almost laughed to tears at that one. I'm like, "That's fucking awesome."
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's so funny.
So good.
Hey Nikki, and hello listeners, and welcome to Barely a Destiny Show, episode 83. This week Ben's not here, so in addition to Slapshot Scott, we have guest hosts, plural, Mr. Elmer Fudd Games and Mr. J, aka Gear Dad. How's it going, guys?
Oh my god!
Hello, hello.
Boys, it's a Titan house party this week.
When is it
As
not?
it should be.
Yeah,
This
it should be every week.
True. This is true.
Yes. But I made sure that since we were losing a Titan, we had to pick up 2 more. So just to keep it the same. It was gonna be 5 Titans, but Danfinity can't make it because he's currently taking my dad through Eater of Worlds. So that's kind
Wait,
of cool.
really?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
That's awesome,
fucking
dude.
awesome.
What are we doing
Oh my
here? Let's
God.
pull that stream up.
He's not streaming it. That's the thing.
Oh,
Yeah, it's crazy.
Aw.
Anyway, let's get through this housekeeping real quick. This week, the band of the week is Action Friend, and you can find them at actionfriend.bandcamp.com. And we don't normally talk a little bit about the band, but we are this time because Mr. Elmer Fudd gave us this band, and he might be related to one of the members. Why don't you tell us a little bit about these guys?
Oh man, yeah. The lead guitarist is actually my brother-in-law, and they used to be local in the scene here, and I'd go to a bunch of shows when we were dating to, get some brownie points, and turned out to
Gotta-
actually really
gotta
liking
do
the
it.
band. So they
Heck
went
yeah.
out to Hollywood to follow their dreams, and finally came out with a new album. So here we are.
Nice. Yeah, I gave it a listen while I was editing Lit Lore today,
Guys?
and it's like, it's genreless, kind of. It's, I don't know. The best way I can describe it is like,
Did you guys lose me?
no, you're here, Scott. Apparently, Scott can't hear us.
Oh, this is perfect.
But they are like, it's like rock meets like jazz meets like stoner rock meets punk, and it transitions between them, and it's just, I don't know, and it's instrumental. So
Yeah, they do this crazy thing where it's like 3 genres and 3 songs in one song, and so
Yeah.
they'll play part and then jump to another and then bounce back to the note they left off on and like rotate back and forth the whole song. It's crazy. I don't know how they
Yeah.
do it. But
it's pretty chaotic, but I dug it, and I hope you guys dig it too. If you dig this show, you can tell us about it by emailing us at barelyadestinyshow at gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at barelyads. Pinned it to the top of the Twitter, except for this week because I didn't do it. Usually, though, is a link to our Discord where you can hang out and meet us and hang out in the community, find people to play with and such stuff like that. And while you're in that Discord, you can join the clan. It's great. And, if that seems like a lot, just go to the website. All the stuff is on the website. Yeah.
The website.
www.barelyads.com. And I believe, maybe Scott can clarify this as well, that there's a link to leave us iTunes reviews.
Yes, there's a link. You should be able to click on it, and it should bring you right to our iTunes page, and then you can just click leave a review.
Yeah, 5 stars only, though.
Yeah, 5 stars only. Make sure that they're good ones, and then we'll review them for you.
Yeah, and we have one to review this week from
Yes, we do.
Flying Avocados.
Ooh.
5 stars. And they
Good.
say, love the show, 3 avocado emojis. So guys, how are you gonna rate this review? So let's start with Gear Dad. Gear Dad, what do you think? How do you rate this review?
Well, Jesus, it's to the point,
Yeah.
and it gives you 5 stars. So let's give it a 69 out of 70 licks.
Nice.
No, dude, you'll put me on the spot, man.
Going with the 69.
Yep. 69 out of 70 licks. Nice. Scott, what do you think? How do you review this review?
I'm gonna say it's solid. He gave us 5 stars and then 3 avocados. Solid branding, Flying Avocado, and there's avocados there. I'm gonna give it 3 out of 3 hockey pucks.
Oh,
Perfect. review.
Ooh, that's a hat trick.
yeah.
wow,
mostly because of the solid branding. That's what pushed it. It was already like 2 out of, like 2.9 out of 3. So it was getting there. And then he put the avocados in, and I'm like, that's good branding. I'm going to reward him for that.
Oh, excellent. And I'm gonna give it 7 out of 7 vape clouds for this reason. This person obviously listens to this show. That's a callback to one of the best jokes I think that's ever been
my
told on this
God.
show.
Yes.
The Millennial Falcon joke.
The Millennial Falcon, that's right.
Oh my God, I forgot.
And it's short and to the point. So yeah, 7 out of 7
Three
vape clouds.
avocados actually fell out of
And they fell out of the
cargo
Millennial
bay.
Falcon.
Yeah, that came out of the cargo bay.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh man, Mr. Elmer Fudd, how do you review
God.
this review?
Well, with their name and their rating, I think they're equally as passionate about your show as they are with avocados. So, going with Jay's direction, I'm going to give it a 420 out of 421.
Oh, excellent.
Ooh.
Hashtag salt for green. All right. So, boys, we had it's not really a big TWAB. Mostly it was just like links to videos this week. So we're going to
Yeah.
talk about that. But first, we have something from our sponsor, Cosmodrome Vodka. We here at Cosmodrome Vodka believe in the power of good ideas. That's why we went ahead and, quote, borrowed the idea for our next product from a story told to you by a recent guest of yours. Introducing White Man Sushi Vodka. Just like the name implies, White Man Sushi Vodka combines the amazing taste of various pieces of sushi, such as ahi and sake, into our quality-approved vodka. Sake's not in sushi. You drink it with sushi. And each bottle tastes different from the next. Was that a hint of EB in that shot? Who the fuck knows? The process we use for creating each bottle is a combination of Stormcaller Kamehameha blasts, the fish and other objects caught via the fishing emote from Eververse, and lots of shaking. Shaking provided by Cookie Monster, who is still under contract with us. This creative process destroys 6 out of 10 bottles, but our quality department assures us that statistics don't actually matter much like the statistics course you slept through in high school or college. Why don't we know? Why don't we know what sushi is in each bottle? Because Stormcallers literally just throw the sushi into a pile and vaporize it into the vodka. Seriously, we thought warlocks were scientists, but they just torch everything they touch. You'll be able to find bottles of White Man Sushi Vodka in select liquor stores near you on the shelf next to Smirnoff Red, White, and Blue, and Mike's Hard Watermelonade. also known as the land of misfit malt beverages. Enjoy. In fine print, if you're allergic to fish or you're a vegan, don't lose hope. White Man Tofu Vodka isn't far off. All right. Thank you, Cosmodrome Vodka.
It's
Score.
beautiful.
They just
I-
keep coming up with
So good.
Yeah,
I know.
some ideas over there, huh?
Product after product, you know.
they're
And-
nonstop, man.
Yeah, nonstop.
It's all right. Keep at it, guys. One of these days, something will stick.
It will. It will. All right. So what do you guys say we talk about this TWAB or videos, I guess?
I'm down. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. So the first thing we got in this TWAB was the launch trailer for Forsaken, and I gotta say, I want to kill Uldren pretty bad.
Yeah, I thought I was there already, and that was next level.
Yeah, that's the one thing I was saying. Like, after watching the Cade trailer last week, and it was like, you know, the moment where everybody cries. I don't care who you are. I'm coming home, Ace. And I'm just like,
Yep.
but no, don't do stupid things, Cade. You're doing enough of those. Seeing the trailer this week where Ikora's getting mad, and I'm just like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought things were bad before, but Ikora's pissed off now. Like, this dude's gonna get the shit kicked out of him.
Right. And then Zavala being super non-Titan, like, nah.
Yeah,
We
right?
got to protect the city. I wanted to punch him in the
Good lord.
face.
Honestly, though, that
Someone's got to cover your ass, though, man.
See, this is the thing that I got. There's a whole bunch of other like you know, lore debates and character analysis you could get into, because honestly, that is like a very Titan thing, is saying, oh, we have to protect the city. However, being a Sunbreaker, I
Yeah.
feel the need to go bury my hammer in Uldren's skull,
Mhm.
which is why I was happy that like one of the next lines was the player character decides to break the, what is it, like 3-5 whatever the hell year vow of silence, and says
3 year, because he
in
talks
response-
in
yeah.
year 1.
In year one,
yeah,
with
the
D1.
Black Garden, yeah. So if he says to Zavala's quote of I don't want to bury any more friends, and the Guardian just speaks up and says, you won't have to, Uldren Sov is mine. I'm just like, oh yeah.
Badass. And it was
Oh,
a
yeah.
Titan.
Yes.
Yep.
Because why? Who else would it be?
Exactly.
Also voiced by Matthew Mercer, fun fact.
Oh,
Nice.
fun. Yeah.
Oh.
So what do you
I
guys
do
think
have to
about
say-
our Guardian talking? You think there's going to be more?
Dude, I'll say it like I've said it jokingly, semi-serious. Like, part of my problem with it in the past is like everybody wants the Guardian to talk, right? And I'm like, yeah, but you also want gameplay immersion. My Guardian, if it's going to be like a reflection of me, is going to be a foul-mouthed asshole. And as soon as, you know, like something goes down, it's not going to be him saying something dramatic and serious. It's going to be him like, you know, Arlie Ermy, something like that. That said, I'm okay with it if they use it properly, and it seems like from the trailer they're definitely doing that to add like dramatic impact, because I
Yeah.
heard him say that, and I'm just like, oh shit, this is gonna be fucking epic.
Oh
I
my
wonder
God,
if the different classes are going to have different lines.
Well, it would be awesome if they just kept that voice no matter what. Because my guardians are female. If she talks in that voice, dude, that would be so fucking dope.
Well, I did see a screenshot on Twitter today that there are different voice actors for each race and gender. So 6 different voice actors for our Guardian.
Quick maths. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, 6.
No, someone's gonna have to make a YouTube montage of something because I want to hear them all.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm
Appar-
sure.
Apparently, it's already in the game. I've heard people saying like their grunts and stuff already sound different. So I don't know.
Yes,
Oh.
yeah, it's there's different like, and I think it might also vary not just based on male, female, and the classes, but also whichever race your guardians are. So like Exo female is different from like Awoken female or human female, and like, you know, Titan human male is different from the Awoken male.
Yeah, yeah. And then we got some other stuff in this video that is pretty interesting. Like a giant fallen named Spider that is apparently going to give us quests.
Dude, he looks like a fucking badass too. I
Right?
like that guy's look.
Right?
Well, he's sitting there like Rubik's cubing a ghost shell. I'm like, oh my god.
Right? Oh my gosh. I wonder if that, like, I want to know more about him so badly. Like, Did he
You know,
kill a guardian and steal their ghost to be a toy? Like, how does he?
I read that in one of the Bungie press releases that Spider's kind of like going to be one of the NPCs you take quests from, and he's going to be not necessarily a good guy, but he's not really a bad guy either. So it's one of those things where he's like that gray area.
Yeah, he's ambiguous.
A little bit like more ominous than like somebody like Varix per se, because Varix just sits there and says weird things, and you're like, Varix, I love you, but you're fucking creepy as shit sometimes.
I'm
dude.
sorry,
Like, you need to
Scott,
chill out.
but Varix is a bitch. He switched sides based on who he thinks is gonna win. He's a coward.
Since what? Since when?
What do you mean since when? He was part of the wolves, and when he noticed that the wolves were going down, he ran to Marasov and was
Dude,
like, "Let me help you."
The whole reason he went to the side with Marasov is because he saw Skolas killing fucking innocent people, and he said, "I'm not okay with this." That's what it is. It said in his what's the Grimoire card? I forget what it is. But he said that. He basically said in the Grimoire card where he details like how brutal and horrible Skolas was. He says he basically went to Marasov and said like, "I'm not okay with this. He's murdering innocents. Here's where the wolves are going to be." And that's where Marasov decided,
Still seems opportunist and cowardly to me.
I don't think so. I think
Sounds
think
like
that we're
surviving in fallen culture.
yeah, really. They've had a rough
Yeah,
go,
right.
man.
All these people have guns.
But I will say too, the other thing with Varix is that some of the like messages that were discovered after, as far as like the lore in D2 about his storyline and stuff, where they're trying to send messages back and basically say, Crow untrustworthy. They were trying to get it through to him so he can get a hold of Petra. I believe it was him. There's another one that says Intel source Green Raven or something like that, which was implied that it was Varix. So Varix was basically reporting on he was spying on the Crows for a bit in D1, I believe. There was one of the Grimoire cards where he basically said when Aldrin disappeared, I think he was kind of appointed head of the Crows, or he was taking care of them. So he was feeding the information to Petra before it was going to, like, wherever. I think it may have been Aldrin, it may have been the Awoken, like intelligence, whatever. But it was funny because I was reading that and he was getting it and analyzing it beforehand. There was a couple cards where he was it was like him in his like room, and he's sitting there kind of thinking about the whole thing and trying to assess the whole situation as it sort of is developing. So I don't think Varix is necessarily, a traitor or like a turncoat. I think he's just,
I mean, he's definitely a traitor, but maybe I get what you're saying. He's not necessarily a bitch, as I put it.
Skolas looked like a bitch.
I mean, we did murder the shit out of him, so yeah.
Right. Oh, man. Well, anyway, Spider looks badass. I kind of hope we get to fight him, but we probably won't. Anything else, you guys? Oh, there was another part of the launch trailer that was interesting, which was Aldrin standing in front of a shard of the Traveler.
Yes, that was what I was talking about earlier. When I was
Yeah.
like, I already hated him, but that's next level. That's a no. That's a no.
Man, and there's like little black veins coming into his face as he's holding that little
Ugh.
shard. Man, what do you guys think?
Freaky.
Think we're gonna get a dark light bearer? Is that a dark light? That sounds weird.
I think I'm gonna slit his throat with the shard of the Traveler.
That would be fantastic. But then he doesn't have a ghost, right? So
No.
he can't really be revived without it, or can he? I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of self-learning opportunities here as well.
Yeah, indeed.
Self-learning.
Thank you. No, but like I even have friends that are like still like Aldrin fanboy / girls, and that part happened, and even they were like, "Nope, I'm done. He can die now." That did something to people, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Anything else from the launch trailer? Any
And
thoughts?
just anytime there's Petra there, I'm happy. So life is good.
Yeah, that was good to see. It's like, oh, she looked good.
Mhm.
Right. All right. Well, there's another video as well, the Vidoc, and this was more kind of just informational, and it kind of broke down a lot of the stuff that's in the rest of the TWAB. And I got some notes on just the Vidoc itself. I wrote down the goals of D2 Year 2 was the basics of it. And one of the biggest things they said is in-game lore, triumphs, and more things to do, so there is no content drought. And I don't know, I kind of believe this. What do you guys think? You think they're going to succeed?
Oh, like the biggest thing they were saying the whole time was basically like, make everything bigger and more badass, and a lot
Right.
more of it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
I think it depends on who you ask. I mean, I know like you and I and those of us here are probably going to be pretty excited, and it's going to be a pretty constant thing for most of us. I know there's still going to be a lot of people out there who blow through everything on day one, and then still scream that, oh, there isn't enough to do. It's, dude, there's more than enough to do. I just don't know if you're willing to do some of the stuff. I'm looking at some of the notes here in our show notes, and it looks fucking awesome, man. Like,
Oh, show notes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I do recall there's like a quick little thing where it showed the lore, like in-game lore tabs and collection, and it looks like really easily accessible. So might have a lot of time spent just like at the tower reading stuff.
Well, and I heard because there's like the raid world first, and I heard something with like the lore log, where like if
Yeah.
you collect everything, there's like a world's first achievement for that too, I guess.
Oh yeah, that ties into another thing we were talking about is the triumphs, where there's going to be like lore triumphs, where if you collect all the stuff, then you'll get a title that shows up right underneath your name in game, and they said that they're hard to get. So these titles
Can I
are
be something? Can I be like, I don't know, something cool like Sunbreaker, but like lore Sunbreaker? I don't know.
yeah, I'm not really sure. I can't remember what the one that was in the Vidoc actually said.
It was
I saw it
Chronic,
was like
Chronicler.
Chronicler. I think
Oh, it
that's
was
the lore one.
Chronicler, Okay,
Yeah, something like that.
That sounds like the lore one.
I'll probably have that at some point then.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch a video to go collect everything. Titles
Yeah, right.
are, I love titles.
That was something I was pumped for. Like as an MMO guy for a long time, collecting titles, I was like, yes,
Exactly.
titles in Destiny.
Like when we jumped into Star Wars: The Old Republic, I was like, oh yeah, I have like day one titles that I can show off. Heck yeah. Let's see. Then it broke down kind of the 3 mini DLCs that we're gonna get. First one was the Black Armory. And I was saying that that's going to be about, there was like a elite group of crafters that created guns and stuff like that. And I just kind of got a vibe of like the dwarves in the Marvel universe that make the Asgardian weapons.
Oh yeah.
So like we might have these super elite like weapon and armor sets that we get through that.
Oh, so Dinklebot will be back then.
giant
There you go.
Dinklebot.
Giant Dinklebot.
Oh man, that was fantastic. And Joker's Wild. They said there's going to be a lot about the Drifter and who he is, and maybe they showed a shot of his ship, which just looks crazy.
Dragging some big ass rock. I don't even know.
Yeah, what the heck is that?
I don't know, man, but like,
That guy looks like a D-bag.
I was gonna say, I don't know where you guys are from, but when you see some guy who they refer to as a drifter dragging a giant rock down the street, you usually call the cops and have him locked up.
But I mean,
Those car runs.
and he's a quote rogue light bearer, so I don't know. I don't trust him. I know that much.
God, rogue light.
He flips
bearer.
that coin really good though.
He does.
So he's
Really
got that
good
going for him.
I don't care how rogue he is. I still think if he decides to act up, he's gonna get his ass kicked. Let's be honest about this.
Yeah. Tiny Heart says he's a space bum.
I like that. I'm gonna actually.
Yeah, that's
I'm not
about
gonna-
right, man. That
yeah,
sounds
I'm
about
not gonna
right.
call him the Drifter. I'm gonna call him the Space Bum until he proves he's cool enough to earn a better nickname.
There we go.
That's gonna be his title. The fucking Space Bum.
Space bum.
Oh man. And then the last content drop was Penumbra, and that one they said specifically is going to be about secrets, and the name specifically, I heard on DCP, a penumbra is like the outline of a shadow, which is pretty interesting.
Wait, which season is that? I gotta look at the show notes real quick. Is that the third
Penumbra is the third one, which will be summer 2019.
Ooh. So they could be preluding to like Destiny 3 or the next big Destiny thing, if I'm not wrong. And
Well, in the Vidoc, they were saying that's where you're probably going to find a lot more things like the Whisper Quest and that kind of stuff.
that's gonna be cool as hell.
Yeah, yeah.
So I heard a rumor that we're already seeing some of the Barons out in the world in Destiny 2. Is that really?
Yeah, scary as hell.
Mhm.
Really? No
Mhm.
shit.
Well, I
have
don't
to go
know
look
if they're
for them after.
necessarily the Barons,
Yeah,
but
it's not
they're
the Barons,
like
it's,
escapees from
escapees, yeah.
From the prison,
from the
yeah.
prison.
Ooh, I'm gonna have
They're
to
in
look for them
strikes
later.
and they're in the world right now,
I gotta have a few words with those motherfuckers.
right?
Did we want to in that first Black Armory thing? There's a little old thing called heavy machine guns returning. Did we want to touch on that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jesus! Oh my God, I'm excited.
Yeah, I have that a little bit later in the show notes, but why not? Let's talk about it now. Super hype.
Well, I don't have show notes, so I
Yeah,
can't.
exactly.
Yeah, it's true. You know what? Let's go with the. We talked about the raid already, right?
No,
Or
I have
No.
all the more
Okay.
specific information in the roadmap section. But
Sorry.
let's hit this listener question from Laz about what we just talked about, which is which of the 3 annual pass content drops are you looking forward to the most?
Oh God, that's not
It
fair.
would, it would have to be the
Yeah.
first one because that's when we get the heavy machine guns back.
That's a good
Yeah.
point. That is a good point.
I
Yeah,
don't
that
know,
one.
man.
I don't know. That sounds like a lot of. The only thing with that, like they used the word forges again,
Yeah.
which they used in Curse of Osiris, so that kind of worries me.
Yeah,
But it's like,
yeah.
hopefully it's a
no.
redone system, right? But
Yep.
either way, the premise of that sounds, probably the most interesting because guns.
Well, I
Yeah.
think the way they could get around that is they used Forge, but probably in the context of the Black Armory, like blacksmiths that made they probably had to have a forge to make these guns. So maybe you just find their forge and some molds and have like you get whatever they had already planned. I don't really see us building our own
Yeah.
guns, you know.
You know what, man? I actually I thought the Forge and the Osiris weapons, like that whole system, regardless of whether those weapons were good or not, in some cases they were, in some not so much. I actually think that was the best part of Curse of Osiris. I think that whole system worked pretty well because you could go get your weekly bounties from Brother Vance, your weekly prophecies or whatever, and then you go and you build, like you get the materials from doing strikes and nightfalls and things, and then you could go and build one of the guns and it would give some cool stuff with that, you know, like you'd get the story behind the gun and the prophecy that the gun was based on, or maybe the prophecy that the gun was that held, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But I thought that worked pretty well. So I mean, if they did that again or the same sort of format, I wouldn't mind it. I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think they did learn too from the Curse of Osiris Forge that, you know, we really liked the Perfect Paradox and Saint 14 parts of that, and I can only imagine that they'll include more lore and history of these Black Armory, you know, gunsmiths to be able to research in, maybe piece by piece through the guns, leading to something bigger like a Perfect Paradox. I hope so anyway, because that story just sounds really cool.
What if
Yeah.
it's not like that forge? What if it's like Archon's forge and it's just like a public area?
Oh,
Ooh,
that could
the
be cool
forges
too.
of the chain. Oh, it is called an activity. Oh my
Wow.
God.
Maybe.
Gear Dad broke it. Figured it out.
oh man. Well, I'm gonna say I'm most excited about the Black Armory also. You know, not only do we get heavy machine guns back, but that just seems like it might have the most rich lore and story to it, right there. What about you, Scott?
I gotta break rank and go with Penumbra, man.
Ooh.
I think that's going to be really cool. If you like, just seeing what they did in the past when they, looking back on Destiny 1 as a whole, you look at some of the stuff they foreshadowed from like vanilla Destiny, or some of the like loose ends that they kind of toss out there into the world through the Grimoire, just to sort of have as the possibility to pick up something and run with it in the Grimoire. I think it's going to be really cool to see Penumbra, because, if we're talking about foreshadowing and stuff like that, and they're potentially going to foreshadow the next chapter of Destiny at that, I love that kind of thing. Like the fact that, like you guys said earlier, not to bring it up again, but that the escapees from the Prison of Elders are already out running around in the worlds. The stuff like, the roving band of wolves from D1 and the Blades of Crota.
Yeah.
I love when they sort of change the in-game world to not just advertise, but like, as a prelude to like the next chapter of the game. I think that's the coolest thing in the world, because it actually makes the game feel like it's the real world, like alive. Things are actually happening.
Yeah.
And it sort of, so I that's why I'm looking most forward to that, because I think that could be really cool. The Forge, was it Black Armory there with the Forge? That definitely is like a real close second, though, because there's going to be some, if they're going to start talking about like some golden age weapons and cool stuff like that, there's always good stories that come with that, and sometimes you see some ridiculous stuff. So I can only imagine what some of that's going to be.
Yeah, they are supposed to be golden age weapons.
Oh man, it's going to be so good.
So, and the one we have currently is, the most notable would be Sturm, which is current, like one-shotting low resilience guardians with an overcharge shot. Oh, fantastic. Amr Fudd, which one are you most excited about?
Oh God. Oh, did I not answer? I guess I didn't answer. Jesus. Well, I think I'm honestly gonna have to say Black Armory as well. New activities. I mean, the whole premise behind it just sounds amazing. And that's when we're getting a new raid lair and everything. So that's going to be a big content drop. And I like heavy machine guns.
Yeah.
That's very true.
And it's
that was
time.
one of the things with heavy machine guns. Yeah, I just hope there's one that's as good as the King's Fall machine gun, Harold Cullum's Terminus. God, that thing was just fucking... And I hated the King's Fall weapon, but that thing was an absolute monster. I love that gun.
Yeah. And it's perfect timing, because there's not very many power weapons anymore.
No.
Dude, after the Switch, there's nothing left. All I have down there are like exotics, everything.
Yeah. Oh, I have my Sins of the Past, but I mean...
Yeah, other than that, everything else is yellow.
I have Sleeper Simulant, I have Wardcliff Coil, and then I have... Actually, that might be it.
Yeah, that's all that you might have
that's
on.
it.
Oh, man. Well, we really want to jump into this next, the roadmap section, where we can break these things down a little more. But they did finish the Vidoc by saying that, and this I think was like the biggest thing in the Vidoc, which is that they took the best of Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, learned from the mistakes. They specifically said, we took a lot of the things that we abandoned in Destiny 1 and put them back in Destiny 2, and all the things that we did well in Destiny 2, and we expanded upon them, and they're very confident that we're going to really enjoy what they're bringing to the table when Forsaken really comes, which is coming the same day probably that this, usually we drop on Tuesdays, so when you're listening to this, you're probably just getting super hyped to play when you get home from work tonight, on the 4th. And then 10 days later, on the 14th, Last Wish, the new raid. I'm super excited about that.
I'm glad they pushed back the start time to, that length of time instead of like 4 days or whatever we've had in the past.
Well, the level cap is going up 20, right, to 50, and then the power level cap is going to what, 600?
600, yeah.
Yeah, we're all at just about 400.
Crazy.
So that's you know, that's a lot of grinding to do, and it seems like it's going to be much harder to raise your power level, even though there's going to be more ways to do it. And that's exactly how, I mean, I'm stoked for that. I think it's a really good way to do that. I just hope that I could get to power and get the raid done before October when Festival of the Lost finally comes back.
I can't fucking wait.
Festival of
man.
the Lost.
I gotta say, I don't know how you guys feel, but that's my favorite like tower themed live event. Just because it was like, I mean, first of all, like Halloween's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
My wife is huge into that. I've always loved Halloween and some of the cool stuff. So like seeing that in like the Destiny universe, their version of Halloween with the fucking tower done up with all the sweet ass colors and the like the candles and the lights, and it's just like it's super kind of spooky, kind of cool. All the engram lights were like, you know, colorful and stuff. So it was just one of my favorite things. So I'm happy it's coming back.
Yeah, same. I can't wait to wear a giant mask of Uldren after I murder him.
Right.
Oh,
And
you're not gonna try to take his head. I'm gonna take his head and put it on a pike.
yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be attached to my epic Titan shoulder.
Yes.
But then I'll have the mask on.
Yes.
Well, and we'll have Lost Cade. So that's going to be
That was actually that's
Festival
what I-
of the Cade.
Yeah, dude, that should be. I really think. Well, I mean, one of the other things I was gonna ask. Well, I'll save that for when we talk about the raid. We'll keep going.
Yeah. The only thing I'm curious about is that Festival of the Lost was tied in D1 to Eva Levante. She's not even at the tower. She's like the only person left at the farm. Think she's gonna finally get the picture and move to the tower?
What? No.
No one
Eva-
else is here, so I guess
Eva's,
we'll go.
Eva's not at the farm.
What do you mean?
She's not.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Eva Levante?
Yes.
The lady who gave us shaders? In D1.
Who's the one at the farm then? Who's the Cryptarch at the farm?
That.
Oh
that's
no, you're right.
Tyra.
Yeah,
Tyra.
No, you're right.
Tyra-
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought
Tyra
it was just
Karn.
gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
Karn.
My bad.
Yeah. Well, there's a
How
scannable
long
in
it's
that.
been since I've been there.
Yeah, exactly. There's a scannable in the tower. If you go over to like the corner across the hallway from the spicy ramen shop, you scan it, and Ghost says, "I always, every time we walk past her, I always picture Eva Levante set up here. This is where she used to set up before she was moved to the old tower." And he says, "I know that she made it out of the city, but we haven't heard anything else from her since the fall of the tower." And so they left it at that, like saying she's alive, but she's not in the tower or whatever. So, like I've been thinking since that, I'm like, well, she's got to come back, right?
Right.
Like she's gonna come back for something. And I was wondering if maybe they were saving it for that Festival of the Lost. So I think they're right. I think that's what they're gonna bring her back.
Right.
She'll just walk in. Hey guys, who wants the old shader system back?
And here's some raisins too.
Here's
And,
some
and slap
raisins.
Rahul in the face.
Yeah.
I'll dismantle these.
You can come to me and I'll dismantle them 10 at a time.
And instant once you press the button.
Oh my god. All right. Well, we kind of skipped over the raid a little bit. Scott, what do you want to say about the raid?
So the name of the raid is Last Wish, right?
Yeah.
And it's in the Dreaming City,
Mm-hmm.
and we lose Cade. So this is just speculation. What do you guys think the raid is going to be based on? Like a Cade 6 treasure map, or something Cade leaves us as his last wish. Like, hey, I was onto something big, Guardian. Before they all jumped me and murdered me, here's what I got. Go find it and kill it for your pal Cade.
Maybe. I don't know. I think it might be deeper than that. Ooh, Ben, who's on vacation in the chat, says "Last Wish Dragon."
Okay.
I was
So-
about to say that. We're
so
going to collect the Dragon Balls. We're going to bring them together. We're going to wish Cade back.
So he's
Or sell
hoping
it.
for Ahamkara, huh? That could be cool as well.
I don't think so, man. I think that if they bring Ahamkara into it, they're gonna have to do it in some I don't know. It just would seem so.
Well, I mean, what happens when you find an Ahamkara? You get a wish.
Not necessarily, and usually, if you follow, again, if we're following what we know about them from D1 lore, man, Ahamkara aren't good. They're just as fucking sketchy as the Worm Gods.
Oh yeah,
if
exactly.
anything is
They're
to
not
be
actually
believed.
wishes. They're
It's the game that you and Dan Finity and Ben played on that one episode where I wasn't here, where somebody gets their wish, but the next person has to ruin it. That's the game
it's a
that Ahamkara
bargain.
play.
It's a bargain. You lose something. Equivalent exchange.
I don't know if I'd call it equivalent, but yeah, that's
Yeah. I just wanted to drop a Full Metal Alchemist reference. Hey.
oh man.
Oh man. Anybody else have any raid speculation?
I did see some of the video footage of it, like in the teasers that they had, where they just flash images on the screen, and it totally looks like the Upside Down from Stranger Things.
Yeah, you're not the first one to say that.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat.
All I know is it's going to be super dark, and I can't wait because I've been waiting for everything to get crazy dark again.
Right? Instead of the like super bright gold and white of the Leviathan.
Instead of a game show.
Right.
Yeah, it's totally Leviathan's totally a game show, and I liked it for the first 50 times I did it, but now I'm just like, every time they release a new raid layer, it's like, guys, Leviathan was a great idea, and I still have fun doing that raid. But
Oh
like,
yeah.
ooh, the other two, like, can we just move on from this Cabal story? Like, I get it.
Right.
Callus is like a big fishy faced hedonism bot from Futurama. For those of you who know that.
Right. Well, and then I don't think we're done with that story because I do recall hearing that it's someone saw in one of the videos a Callus statue.
Yeah,
I
something
did
like
hear
that?
something about that. Yeah.
They've been hinting at it through like the different weapon tabs and stuff, or lore tabs and the weapons and stuff like that. And they even said like Solstice of Heroes wasn't about celebrating the Guardian; it was like Callus's celebration for us.
Oh,
Am I
okay.
right?
Tiny Heart in the
Did
chat
anyone
saying
else-
it was in the Penumbra section of the Vidoc.
Yeah. So I think
All the secrets.
yeah, exactly. So I think much like the Ahamkara, I think Callus is just one of those things where it's like ambiguous, you know? He's giving us presents right now, but we can't trust him. Tomorrow he could sell us out.
Yeah. All right. Well, to use a fluffy transition, speaking of one of the small content drops, in December, we know that's when the first one's coming with Black Armory. And as we already talked about,
That wasn't fluffy. All right. That actually made sense. Try again.
Yeah, it's a little too smooth. there, Too smooth.
I'm sorry. But yeah, we're getting, like we said, heavy machine guns are coming back. We're all hype about it. We need more variety in the heavy weapon slot. New Forges of the Chain activity. So that sounds, I mean, it's a new activity, so that means it can't be the same as the Curse of Osiris Forge, right?
Thank you, Jay.
I guess.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
makes sense.
the more I think about it, I think Jay's right, man. Like Forges of the Chain sounds like an activity.
Yeah.
Maybe it is like Archon's Forge, where you go in and you like fight a bunch of enemies or something, and you get the rewards like the weapons from that.
Right. Maybe it'll be like a combination of like things that we enjoyed from D1 and D2, like Archon's Forge or Court of Oryx, mixed with an Escalation Protocol type of thing.
Yeah.
That
It
could
could
be
be.
cool.
I mean, you know, like we're speculating shit out of everything here because obviously we know about as much as everybody else does.
Right.
Yeah,
Except for
exactly.
insiders. But I think that would be actually that is one of the things I think that's missing. Like Escalation Protocol, I've been playing that the last couple nights with just basically like wandering into Mars and finding a full, you know, instance
Yeah,
and
yeah.
firing up an Escalation Protocol tower, and then just people come out of the woodwork and it's complete insanity. Which, you know, again, I gotta throw a shout out to Scary. Way back when I said, you know, I don't know how this is gonna work out. I'm kind of bummed Escalation Protocol is like so impossible to do it at the drop of this at the drop of Warmind, the DLC, and he said it's going to be fun once everybody's leveled up. And I gotta say, man, he was right. I've been rolling into like instances of fully leveled like randoms, and we just spank the shit out of it. So anything that offers more of that like just complete insanity, you know, rolling in with a full group of people, whether it's blueberries or you know you bully your way into an instance and take it over with your clan or whatever, and then you just smash everything in sight. I think that's Destiny at its best. So I think that could
Yeah.
be a real fun thing.
Hell yeah. And then, of course, we're getting a raid layer with Black Armory.
Yes.
Now, did they say whether it's gonna like they're obviously doing the raid layers again? Are the raid layers going to sort of change themes based on the content drop, or is it just going to be like something totally different, sort of like Leviathan? Because I mean, Leviathan was related to the main story, but then they did 2 other raid layers that were related, but kind of not really.
I don't know, because
I
of
don't-
course this is going to be speculation, but I get the feeling that they're going to all be in the Dreaming City, but they seem like they're
Yeah, that'd be
directly
my guess, too.
tied to the to that mini DLC. So it'll probably be Black Armory related.
That's good.
Is what I think.
Yeah,
I
because
like
there's
that.
not one for Joker's Wild, I don't think. I
No,
think it's-
yeah, there's not. Which is fine, you know. I'm still surprised that they can give us 3 raids basically a year. That's insane.
Right?
That's more than an MMO. Like MMOs, you'll get. I mean, how often you get? What, like 1 expansion a year, maybe every 2 years, and they have multiple teams working on each expansion. Kind of, I get the vibe of like a Call of Duty thing where there's different teams working on different games, and then they're come in like groups, so you get all of them at once, but there's like 6 or something like that, you know, in an MMO. So in this kind of game where they're like breaking new ground with FPS raids, 3 in a year is insane.
And you know,
Oh,
I gotta
for
say,
sure.
not for nothing, man. Like the raid layers, the fact that you can go in and knock out Eater of Worlds in less than an hour is super fun.
Yeah, it is. And Eater of Worlds
You
is
know.
my favorite one in D2. That raid
that's
is
awesome,
so
man.
fun.
So good.
I love it, but I mean, I still like Leviathan. I can't. Just like the weird game show aesthetic.
Didn't someone like just solo Eater of Worlds? Didn't that just happen this last week or something?
Yeah, I soloed.
I thought I saw that too. Yeah.
Well, they soloed Argus because you have to have, you
Oh.
know,
Right.
you have what they probably did was get to Argos with a team and then have everybody leave. So
That's
they could do
still
it.
like
It's still super
crazy
impressive.
epic. Yeah, that's nuts.
I would honestly be more impressed if they had everybody just dance while they soloed Argos.
Right. Well, I'm watching that and I'm like, you know, when we're all shooting the proper terms into the hole, like everyone's always like, shoot faster, and he's just like, boop, one at a time. I'm like, I never had to shoot faster. What are you guys talking about?
Right. And quick aside, as we mentioned earlier, that Dan and Ben were taking my dad through Eater of Worlds. Just got confirmation that they beat it. My dad got his first raid clear tonight.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
So,
epic.
Hell
That's
yeah.
awesome. Congratulations.
Hell yeah. Go get your engram, Barely a Destiny clan.
Is he in your guys'
Thanks,
clan?
Dad.
I think so.
That'd be
That's dope.
awkward.
Yeah. Yeah, moving on. In spring 2019 is when we're going to get Joker's Wild. And with that comes another new activity. And it said Evolution of Gambit.
Dude, all this room for new activities.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Year 2, bunk beds confirmed.
Yes.
What do you guys think about Evolution of Gambit? Like, any speculation on that? How do you think they can evolve that mode?
I think it's pretty. I mean, honestly,
Oh, dude.
the way Gambit kind of is right now, it's kind of a crazy, like, I don't know. I've never really seen something like this before. So, I mean, granted, my experience is kind of limited, but I think the sky's the limit with this. You know,
Yeah.
it's bringing back people who maybe saw some stuff and played vanilla D2, and they're just like, eh. And I've had a few people who I've talked to who have sort of lapsed, and they're just like, dude, I got to get back up into shape because that Gambit game mode just looks so fun. So it's already bringing people back, and I can only, sky's the limit here with this. I think they've got something pretty awesome going on.
Yeah. I think the only
Yeah, and
thing that makes Gambit that so far is that it's PvEVP, so they can
Yeah.
really do whatever.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Well, I haven't played it yet because it's not done.
Right.
And so I haven't touched it to know what the experience is like, to know what they could grow on. But I mean, I never in my wildest dreams would have thought up a mode like this. So yeah, like you said, the sky's
Yeah,
the
that's what
limit.
I'm saying, man. Like, what? Like, I would have never guessed that this would have been a thing. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. Give
No,
us
it looks fucking amazing, dude.
yeah.
Like, it's gonna
It
be.
does.
I can't wait to try this thing out. And then I'm figuring 2, maybe 3 days before someone starts complaining.
Oh,
Oh,
that
no,
long?
I give it-
You really think that
No,
long?
dude, it's gonna be.
I'm
it's
sure
gonna
they're
be-
already complaining.
They
Am I giving
already
it,
are.
am I giving it
confirmed.
too much credit? Fuck.
Check out.
I
check out
watched the
Twitter, check
video,
out Reddit.
okay?
Yeah.
I watched the video, and I already know it's gonna be awful.
I just want give us Sparrow Racing Road Rash.
Yes.
Oh my
That's
god, that
all
would
I
be
ever
so
want.
dope.
That's all I ever want. Every
want
time
s-
this comes up, I'm like, we need to figure out a campaign to tweet at fuck, I forget which Bungie dev was talking about it. I think it might have been it wasn't Hamrick. It was maybe Mark Noseworthy talking about how he loved Road Rash. One of the bigger guys, like the bigger like dev supervisor, whatever, one of the bigger people at Bungie was saying how he loved Road Rash as one of his all-time favorite games, and that just spurred, like, I think it was myself, Fallout Plays was in there. There was a bunch of other people who saw it, and they all lost their minds. They're like, "Oh my god, I love Road Rash. SRL Road Rash, please.
Yeah.
SRL Road Rash, please."
Well, what we need to do is we need to tag that dev on Twitter, as well as figure out who the people on the Gambit team are and tag them so they can get together and make that happen for us. Because Gambit has its own team.
It'd be so
That's
good.
right.
Can you imagine, like, just running around a fucking racetrack with your Sparrow, and it's like, I'm gonna sleeper simulate this dude from across the thing, and then you get shotgunned.
That would be awesome, dude.
Be so good. Oh man! And then summer 2019, Penumbra, which will have yet another new activity. Looks like we're getting a new activity every drop, and a new raid lair. And what I'm excited most about for Penumbra is they specifically referenced the Whisper of the Worm when they were talking about this and how it's based around secrets.
Yeah, stuff on that level.
Mm-hmm. So
Which
the-
was pretty nuts when you think about how Whisper came out, you know.
yeah, I hope that Penumbra drops and it's like, you know, you download the 10 gigabyte DLC or whatever,
And there's
then
nothing.
Nothing. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
That would be so dope, dude. Oh my god.
It's like figure it out.
What now? Good luck.
Yeah.
Was this rock here yesterday? I don't know.
I wonder
that
if
would be
they've
so
realized
awesome.
I wonder if they've realized that they could intentionally just fucking screw with people, and it would keep people busy for months.
Oh, I'm sure they do know that.
Oh, they know. They know.
If Cosmo never tweeted that the Ramen Quest wasn't like a thing yet and was actually just like a lore tab, people would still be looking for how to do that quest.
Yo,
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
There'd still be YouTube videos coming out for it. Just
I think I figured
there'd
it
be
out.
all kinds of shit.
You go to the Almighty, you take off all your armor, you dance in the sunlight.
Oh man, that would be so good.
Then take a selfie in front of the sentries.
Exactly.
Take a selfie with Saint 14.
Oh
yeah.
man. Can you even go back to that quest after you get Perfect Paradox?
No.
If you delete your
So
So
character,
it's like
and
make a
start
new
over.
character.
Yeah, start with another
wow.
guy.
I think I did take a selfie, so I think I'm okay.
Yeah. I didn't have
I think
selfie
everybody did. I did.
Yeah, I didn't either.
yet. Ah, feels bad. One thing I'm super excited about is that it kind of seemed like in the in the the roadmap. There we go. I can talk today.
Words are a
that-
thing.
Yes, exactly. That with each mini DLC, we're also they kind of made it seem like we're going to get sandbox changes. So I really hope that's a thing. I think that's a great idea to change the meta every season, and I'm excited about it.
So is
yeah,
it
and the
gonna
fact
be
that
like,
it's. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, buddy.
that's all right. You go for it.
Okay. Oh, the fact like it says new Crucible content for each one. I'm
Mhm.
hoping like it's not just slight tweaks here and there, and actual like something fresh every time.
Right. Well, we're getting was it 1 or 2 new Crucible modes just right off the bat with Forsaken.
Quick
What is
play
it?
needs some love.
Mhm.
Breakthrough was the name of the one, right?
Yeah, Breakthrough, which is
Yeah,
4v4 doubles. Right?
Can we just please get Rift back?
Is that what
Oh
it
my
is?
God.
4v4
No.
doubles?
Oh yeah,
Breakthrough?
that's
Yeah.
what Breakthrough is. I'm just asking for Rift. Like
I just
Bungie,
want
please.
Scorch
Oh God, Scorch.
all the
that,
time.
That was insanity
Oh, man.
last week.
Hot take.
That was fun, dude.
It was fun for like 1 round. I was like, okay, I'm good. I want to go use my other guns. It was just
Yeah.
Halo rocket launchers, straight up like
Jump, which is amazing.
Yeah, once you like were able to predict where they were gonna go, then you were like a little bit more effective. But like
I-
if you're just aiming at the guy, like there was no way.
I did get a fucking pick where I stuck one of the mines on the doorway and somebody was running through and just got blown up by it. I was so proud of myself. Like I'll never be able to do that
Oh.
again. That was amazing.
yeah, yeah.
I'm proud of you too.
All right.
Thanks, buddy.
So that was
Of course, dude.
So that was the roadmap. There were a couple other little things in the TWAB, such as there's some new swag at Bungie.com. They dropped 4 new shirts and like a lanyard or whatever. But what everybody's
Ooh, I
hype
gotta go
about
look.
is that there's a shirt that says, "Whether we want it or not, we've stepped into a war with the Cabal on Mars," and it
Yes.
lists out the entire thing. And I want
feel
it.
like-
Entire thing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I feel like I need to get that.
You
I
definitely
really
need
feel
to
Yeah,
get
like
that.
you
I
have
own
to.
that.
Because whether we wanted it or not, we stepped into a war with the Cabal on Mars.
Exactly.
So let's get to taking out the command.
I will set up a GoFundMe to get you that shirt. I don't care what it takes.
Oh man.
I saw that
Bungie-
and I immediately sent a picture to Scott. I
Yeah.
was like, Scott!
I woke up to that message this morning and I'm like, what? Oh shit! I need that thing.
Bungie's shirt designs are like so awesome,
Yep.
Mhm.
They
but
have
like
some
the
really
shirts
fun
that they
designs.
use are like, what am I wearing? You know, like the neck just starts to roll up, and they're like,
Yeah,
I can't wear
dude.
this. Like after 2 washes, you're like, dude, I can't even
Or-
wear this anymore.
Or it shrinks. Like I got the 8-bit Guardians from the Taken King,
Mm-hmm.
and if I'm
Yeah.
not careful, that ends up as a belly shirt.
Yeah. Well, I feel like half
Oh,
of
man.
them are in Italian sizes and half
Yeah,
of
it's weird. Yeah, I don't know what shirt they use, but I was like, man, damn it, I bought so many shirts from here, and you'd think I would learn, but then the designs are so badass, I just keep buying them.
Yeah. Well, the only positive thing about it is after enough washes, eventually I'll be able to give my 1-year-old that that Guardian shirt and be like, "Damn right, buddy."
When he's in high school and middle school, he's just got like a bunch of really old hand-me-down Destiny shirts.
Kid's like, "What the hell is that?" He's like, "I don't know. My dad gave it to me."
No, those kids are like, dude, that's
some sort of game
retro.
like 10 years ago. I don't know.
That's so
Get that new PS7.
Yeah.
Uh,
So the next thing in the TWAB is they give us some updates on how they're handling cheating and what they've learned from season 3 competitive and stuff like that. And this kind of hit home to me because Team Potato Face, me, Fluffy, Nips, and Val were warming up last week, and we were like, let's do one comp match before we have to play Chuck's team, and we got DOSed. All of us got booted. 2 of us before the game even started, 2 of us immediately after the game started, and we reported it accordingly. Come to find out, they track that. Every time people leave matches, they have data on that, and they can tell if the people left the match voluntarily or not. And it sounds like they're going to buckle down a little bit more. And this includes if you consistently back out of matches. So if you get flagged for disappearing from competitive matches repeatedly, you could get a soft ban. And if you keep doing it, you could get permanently banned from all D2 activities. So,
no shit, really?
Mm-hmm. So if you
Wow.
consistently, I'd imagine if it's voluntarily leaving matches, that it would take a lot to get totally banned. But yeah, they basically said, we've been tracking this. We're aware of it. Keep reporting it when you feel like people are cheating. And here's the link how to do that. That's
good.
We're going to try and make this better because, yeah, I will say getting DOSed, it felt gross. Like, it felt real bad.
Has that like spiked in recent weeks? Because you're not
Yeah.
the first one. I feel like I've been like, as I'm cruising around Twitter, I see like a lot of PvP guys saying they get fucking DDoSed, and I'm like, I thought that didn't happen.
I've noticed that
often,
too.
but-
Yeah, it's probably because it was getting down to the wire to get your red Ricks, so the cheaters that didn't have it were more inclined to cheat.
Shit. I didn't even think of that. That's fucked up.
Yeah. And I will say the best comparison we could think of to what it feels like when you do get DDoSed is when you come home and someone broke into your house. They didn't take anything. You just feel vulnerable.
Oh.
Yeah. It was
Gross.
Aw, that sucks, dude.
Yeah, it
God.
felt real gross. Like I went out into the living room and my brother was watching TV and he was like, "Did we lose internet?" I'm like, "We got DOSed," and I had to explain what that was to him. And then I was like, "I'm resetting the router." He's like, "Well, the internet's back on." I'm like, "No, I'm resetting the router." You don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, no. Every electronic device lost connection to our internet and the internet got shut down simultaneously. We've been compromised. So
Yeah.
props to Bungie. I really hope they crack down and get rid of these assholes that cheat in a video game for a digital gun.
Yeah. You know what, man? I gotta say, I hope that bad things happen to them.
Mm-hmm.
Not like enough to end the suffering that is their existence, because they're already miserable pieces of shit for having to DOS people in a video
Yeah,
game.
they could
Like,
just
come
get
on,
good.
man. Yeah.
The worst part is that if they had played the match, they probably would have won. So, but yeah, and then the final thing in the TWAB is basically saying, like, pardon our dust. The reason we gave you weapon slot changes and the time to kill changes and all that kind of stuff is because it's like a little bit of a test phase, and you're going to have glitches, such as getting Forsaken drops from the flashpoint that you're not supposed to get. So, yeah, they're aware, and that's a thing. And, yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone's been really complaining about that. So, oh, and we lost Elmer Fudd, so you have to look at just me right now.
He said
He's going to be right back. So, hello, live chat. You just get to see me in my messy room. But one of the big things that we just got this week that everyone seems to be super hype about was the weapon slot changes. And we got an email from our very own Deadpan Malone on this subject. And he says, "First, I feel a bit misled about the weapon slots. I thought I would be able to run a kinetic and 2 special weapons, foregoing power altogether. Regardless, the changes feel good, but I'd like to see a little more ammo in PvP. It feels like you're being overly punished for running 2 special weapons. In PvP, I've been running mostly a full auto shotgun and a hand cannon or auto rifle. In PvE, I've been running a full auto shotgun, sniper, and you guessed it, tractor cannon. Holy shit, you can destroy bosses. What have you guys been running in PvP or PvE? Did you guys get any Forsaken gear from the Flashpoint? I got 2 sets of arms and a shotgun. The shotgun is meh. Sent from my iPhone in South Carolina where it's humid as fuck." So, I gotta
Dude,
say,
he's emailing us. He's in chat. He's gonna get in trouble if his wife finds out.
I mean, he's on vacation.
He's doing Destiny stuff on vacation, though. Isn't that like?
I mean, he brought
a
his
big
PS4
no-no?
on vacation. It's at my parents'
shit.
house, so like, yeah. But yeah, I kind of agree. Like, I was a little disappointed that you can't just put. I was under the impression also that primary and secondary slots were just interchangeable, and you could
Interchangeable.
yeah, you could put whatever gun in whatever slot, and if they were kinetic or special, then they would just take that kind of ammo. But that is not the case.
I'm not surprised. I kind of figured they would do something similar to what they have I still feel like the kinetic weapon slot needs a little bit of love.
Primary slot.
Whatever the hell it is, the first one that takes the white ammo, that fucking thing. Because the only thing I'm running in that slot right now is like Vigilance Wing, Sweet Business. I think I played with Midnight Coup a little bit, and
Hawthorns.
well, I've been using my Braytech Winter Wolf because if I'm using, what the fuck was I using the other night? Oh, I was using Ganora's Axe in the energy slot as a shotgun. Because if I'm gonna go with that, I'm gonna use Ganora's Axe as a shotgun because slug shotgun. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. I have before I go into like what I've been using, I will just I'm going to give a PSA on how you talk about these things. You have 3 slots, primary, secondary, and heavy. You have 3 different kinds of guns, kinetic, special, and power. Power weapons go in the heavy slot, period. Kinetic and special weapons can go in either primary or special slots. So that's how you differentiate them. Kinetic is the ammo type, primary is the slot, special is the ammo type, secondary is the slot. There we go. But I started off running, I switched to Striker and put on Insurmountable Skullfort. Didn't matter what was in my primary or my heavy slot because I threw Ganora's Axe in the secondary slot.
Yes.
And I barely used it, but it feels real good to shoulder charge somebody and then be able to immediately slide and slug shotgun someone in the face that's right behind them. And I loved it. And then I was like, all right, I've been worried about Fighting Lion. I saw a tweet that Fighting Lion is still viable. I'm going to try it out. And it's not still viable. Fighting Lion is fucking broken good. And it is amazing. So Fighting Lion takes kinetic ammo, which is why it's still viable over Flash and Thunder or the one Scott's been using. What's it called, Scott?
Or-Wings Maul.
Or-Wings Maul.
Yeah, it stuns them when you shoot them, and the grenades bounce like super balls if you bounce them off the wall. So that's
So same as Fighting Lion, which is the hold it down and release to detonate thing. Fighting Lion, if you get a direct hit, does like 170 damage. And if you just hit proximity, no, it's like 100 and I think it's 166. And if you hit them direct, like with the explosion, like you don't hit them directly with it, it's 144 damage. And what that means is when you've got your Home for the Lost instant ready hand cannon in your primary slot, you can switch to that and shoot them once in the body and they die. One time, 2 bullets.
Oh my god!
It is so good. So when I figured that out, I was like, I don't need shoulder charge. Went back to Top Tree Sentinel and have been loving it. Oh, and so I threw all grenade launchers got a buff. I have not taken play of the game off because you can now one hit with play of the game. And it's beautiful. And no, if you say that it's too powerful, fuck you. It is now a true power weapon where you can get single kills with the proximity detonations, and it's beautiful.
Seriously, man, get good.
It has to be in that
already.
Yeah, it has to. It can't
be with
like
Whisper the Worm or Legend of Acarus. Like you got to have something on that level.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the purpose of the heavy weapon, like the power slot, the heavy ammo slot, whatever the fuck they call it, the purple slot? Is like you gotta it's a one-hit kill weapon.
One-hit kill weapon.
Yeah, it should be a one-hit kill. Yeah.
Acrius, Whisper, all the rocket launchers. Like I mean, drum-fed grenade launchers. Some of them were pretty good, but they were never always like a one-hit kill with that proximity detonation. Now
you had to get a direct hit with play of the game. Before to
exactly.
Get a
you had to pop them in the fucking chest and hope to God that it explodes before they like dodge it or something.
Yep.
But now that it does that with the detonation, that is how a power weapon should be, you know?
Yep.
So I'm actually excited for that. I got to dig mine out of my vault. That and the Iron Banner grenade launcher is going to be pretty good because I think that's same archetype as the play of the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my play of the game has Masterworked Blast Radius too.
Oh god,
it's so much fun.
That's awesome.
Gear Dad, what have you been running in the new 1 week meta?
I went full scumbag right off the bat.
Hmm.
I've always run like Striker Titan.
Yeah.
So I put on the MK44s, and then
Hell yeah,
I had
brother.
Perfect Paradox, Hand in Hand, and then Acreus, and I just started running. That's all I was doing.
I love it.
And
Oh,
it was
God.
like
This
when
is
when I
great.
first started, there was like this half a second where I was like, I wonder if this is actually gonna work. Like, is this really a thing now? And I jumped in. It was a control match. I jumped in. I shoulder charged the first guy, shot the next guy, and then turned to my left, switched shotguns, and shot the other guy. And I was like, oh shit, it's back. Like, oh god.
Yep.
And that's not, like that's not my normal skill level. I don't do stuff like that. And
Right. Well, have you
That was
tried
on
Skull
Xbox.
Fort yet?
yeah, so I jumped on PS4, which I don't have a lot of stuff on PS4 with, like
Mhm.
unfortunately. And so I put the Skullford on there, and then I only had one shotgun. Again, that's Hawthorne's. So I had
Yeah.
that sitting up on the top, whatever weapon it is, the
Yeah. Primary slot.
And I don't even know what I was running on the second. I think I had the Aachen sniper just to have it on there.
Yeah. It doesn't
And
matter,
then-
right?
Yeah, and then tractor cannon. And then so I was just running, and it was just like I've gotten 20 kill games where like 15 of them are shoulder charges. It's just dumb. It's so fun.
When you're
The
wearing
one-hit
Skull Fort, that is your weapon.
Yeah, when you're
loadout.
running Skullfort, it's just automatic. It's just
Yeah.
automatic. But like
The-
speaking like what Ben said about like the weapon slots and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like I feel that more on PS4 because I don't have all the weapons, and so like I was like I really want to run, Antiope, but I can't because I need to have a shotgun on me.
Yeah.
Like there's like nothing in that middle slot where I was like, okay, I'll just run this. Like I don't want to run Uriel's anymore or anything. 'Cause I had
Yeah.
nothing that was like useful in that
You
slot.
need to have
Correct.
Balagant or Ganora's axe or
I
something.
was gonna say, correct me if
Yeah.
I'm wrong, but aren't they all? Are they all slug shotguns in that special the green slot, or
Yeah, I think
is
the
it
slugs
just-
are in the secondary and the non full auto ones, and then Zenith of Your Kind is the only full auto that's in the secondary.
okay?
Yeah. But like I've been playing on PS4 all week now, just trying to get guns and stuff. And like I'm running like a blue shotgun now in that middle slot. I'm just like-
If it's, as long as it's Summer Lead,
just to
D,
have
you're
something,
good.
yeah.
If it's Summer
Just to
Lead
have
D,
something.
That's the blue version of Balagant.
No, it's not that one. It's something
Dude, I
shitty.
gotta get. I have Balagant somewhere. I gotta break it out.
It's good. That's what Val uses, and he just it's so dumb, so dumb.
Dude,
it has so much range.
But it's Val. Like he can use whatever.
yeah, I mean he
You know what I
can,
mean?
but when
Like,
he's
it's
using a
just- he's
shotgun,
so
like,
ridiculous.
he also uses stompies, so he slides further. It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
God damn it, Val.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
They were talking about that last night.
Yep. So, Mr. Fudd, what Ben
my God,
Ben
yeah.
wrote in from vacation and said he was disappointed in the weapon slot changes because they made it seem like you could put whatever gun wherever, but that's not the case. So, how do you feel about that? And what have you been running?
Oh my. I haven't ran into too many issues with not being able to use what I want where yet. The biggest thing for me is we did JSG, we did our last Leviathan run for year 1 last night
Ooh,
with the new weapon changes. That was a lot of fun.
Ooh, how'd that
And
go?
it went really good. So like we go to the baths and my struggle has always been I want to have a shotgun for the bathers, but I want my Sins of the Past for when we get to the lanterns.
Yes.
And so I was able to
exactly.
stand there with my EP shotgun and Sins
Oh,
of the
that's
Past
right.
and destroy bathers and then go in the middle and just shoot rockets everywhere.
And
And it was amazing.
as it should be, my friend. Hell yeah,
Oh my
brother.
God. Hell yeah, brother. It felt so good.
I'm glad we have this perspective because I have not done any PVE yet with the new changes. I've just been in
I've
the
done
Crucible.
barely any
Dude.
PvE.
Dude, I was.
There is ammo literally just flying everywhere. It's insane.
So you're gonna have power
It's-
ammo all over the place.
Oh god, yeah, it's so good. I think I was telling you guys this. I might have already mentioned. I played Escalation Protocol on the other night. I was using Vigilant. I got out of the Crucible and I was just using Vigilance Wing and War Wings Maul with Sins of the Past, and
Mhm.
it was just stupid fun because you could map people with Vigilance, like you could map the Escalation Protocol guys with all the hive come out of the ground. You could just like shoot them from afar with Vigilance Wing, and then the second that those knights spawn up, especially in the what do they call them? The hive circles that come up. I forget the name of them right now.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the corruption circle, whatever they call it. So, especially when those bosses spawn up, like the Yellow Bar Knights with the shield, and you just stand there with a single shot grenade launcher, you just like pop them. they get hit, they get stunned, they kind of shake their head, and then like at that point, somebody's already jumping in with tractor cannon or Hawthorns or something, and they just get shredded. It's so funny.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna take a lot for me to stop using Fighting Lion Home for the Lost. I actually have gotten way more kills with the switch to the hand cannon than I used to get most of my kills with punching. So it's been nice actually using it. And I was telling Elmer Fudd earlier, I found a great hack if you played MMOs before that. You're really used to using your pinky to hit that tab button to switch targets. So I like was at work and I was thinking about like I need to figure out a better way to switch to my primary on PC. So here's a tip: change tab instead of bring your ghost up, because that's an easily accessible button, and you don't need to have an easily accessible button to bring your ghost up. So change tab to switch weapons. And you can use that the same way you use on a controller, where you just hit it and it switches between your primary and secondary, or hold it to switch to your power. And then I just changed the bring your ghost up to tilde, because that's up in the corner, and who the hell uses that button ever for anything?
I like that.
Yeah, it's real nice. And the only problem I've come up with is I accidentally threw my grenade a couple times, but I'll get used to it. So there's your PC trick right there.
Zan's PC pro tips this week.
Yeah, that's better than that damn scroll wheel where you just like, oh god, it's the wrong weapon.
Right, and it also let me change my scroll wheel, because I did that to the power button in your super. So I used to have to hit C to like smash while I was in my super with Striker or something. Now I can just hit my mouse wheel button, and I took off the scroll change ones. So now I can actually use my mouse for everything while in super, and it's gonna be fantastic.
Oh my god! Yeah, something I've been doing coming from MMOs also is I just use 1, 2, 3 for my weapon slots.
That's what I used to do.
Because you're using your abilities, and that's been working pretty good for me.
Mm-hmm. They're just a little bit. That one button is just a little bit too far to hit with my ring finger to get that home for the. Because when you launch your Fighting Lion, you need to release to explode the grenade, and then immediately hit the button to switch to your hand cannon, so that you can get that one. Yeah, that's right. One shot to the body to kill them. It's so stupid.
I like that.
Fluffy, I could tell, was me and Fluffy did a 1v1, and I actually beat him for the first time, because I was crutching hard on that combo, and he was not able to counter it. But yeah, it was good times. You guys want to get into some listener questions?
I would love to.
Hell yes.
Let's do it.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
All right, our first one comes from Laz. It says, question for tonight's show for all you smelly Titan mains. Are you believers in waiting to discover bits of Destiny's story until you play the game, or do you read through leaks as they come out?
I'm trying to be as surprised as I can. Like that, the cinematic came out of Cade's death, and I didn't watch that because I know it's in the story.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to kind of get that live as it goes. But for the most part, I've been forced to see everything, and it makes me sad.
Yeah. I was giving Ben and Scott a little bit of shit last week about the Kate's Last Stand trailer, and then I was loading up D2 on PC, and it was there, so I watched it. So I've actually my stance is usually anything released by Bungie, I'll watch or read. Anything else I stay away from.
I'm with you on that, man. There was some Reddit leak or something. Remember we talked about it. I'm like, man, like even if that's accurate, some of it's got to be bullshit, and I'd rather find out through an official channel than have some. I read some fucking Reddit post where this dude said this, and this were gonna happen. Because how many times has that turned out to be a complete and total bust, and then
Yeah,
everybody gets
exactly.
fucking mad over it? Like, what did you expect, man? It was Reddit, you know.
Well, like that video of the entire PlayStation exclusive strike, I was like, I ain't watching that. That's got to have so much stuff in it. That's insane.
Oh yeah, that kind of stuff I won't watch.
Yeah, that kind of stuff's too much. Like you got to draw the limit somewhere, right? Like it's just
Yeah.
that's enough.
I love that strike too. And when the heroic strikes first came out, it was total butts. But that's
Which
still
strike was this?
the Taken strike on Earth.
Oh yeah, the shit, I forget the name of it, but I know which one. It's the Lake of Shadows.
Lake of Shadows, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Gear Dad, what do you think? You just
When it comes to lore, like I've mentioned this on our show, and I was actually talking about this in the Discord at Dad Tales. Like I have no idea why we're doing what we do. I just show up and shoot shit in the face. Like that's all I do. Like you guys just said, Lake of Shadows. Like I don't know any of the strikes, what they're called. I don't know what the bosses' names are. Like I don't know. Like I've listened to lore podcasts and like like lit lore and stuff, and it's incredibly fascinating to me, but it just doesn't click in my head. Like I'm just yeah, it's like let me show up and just shoot stuff and that's fine. Like I have no idea what we're doing or why we're doing it. So I just kind of like you said, if Bungie releases it, I'll watch it. When it's like speculation stuff, I don't really get into that just because it's like Scott said, like people are just guessing, and why is your guess any better than mine? You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
No, honestly, like as far as that goes, with like the guessing and stuff like that, like I used to listen to a little bit of it, but everybody knows I'm, from the disciple of ghost stories, and they have a formula they use in that show where it's like anything, they focus on like what they know and they don't really get into speculation. So I had sort of adopted that, and then I don't know where it was. I was somewhere that was a horrible, dark, terrible place, and some of the speculation was just so bad. I'm like, I need to close out of this because I'm about to fucking lose my shit.
Oh, but some of the speculation is fantastic. Like getting to talk to Beard and Green and Justin about their spinfoil theories. Those are some.
They know it.
Those are some
They know.
really well thought out spinfoil
Yeah.
theories that could very well be true, and.
Those really are some of the best. I mean, like, and then like that's the double sword, right? It's like with speculation, you get people who don't know anything about it, or they post like they think they're a YouTuber. They post their video where it's like there's 9 Ahamkara and 9 something and 9 whatever. And you're like, dude, there's a multitude of reasons that doesn't make sense, and here's why. And they want to just argue.
If that was a real post, that person just took that card about the 9 from D1 and just changed everything to Ahamkara.
It was.
Yeah,
It 100% was. And it was funny because, like, I forget who it was. But he tried to, like, talk to the student, be like, hey, dude, there's a bunch of things that just don't make sense with that. You're, like, copy and pasting one word for another. And the dude, I remember reading the thread, and I'm like, oh, God, this guy has no idea what he's talking about. But, like, I've heard some of the theories from, like, from I think Blue and Justin, and like some of the things where they're like, okay, so if this means this, and we've like they're connecting the dots, they're like, then we could be setting up for something huge, and it's always amazing because I'm like, man, can you imagine if they went that far? And it was so cool.
Yep. And if you want to know more about that spinfoil theory, listen to the Lit Lore episode with Justin Sane. It was great. Right
It
here
was
on this
really
feed.
good.
Yeah, the thing too with like the speculation, it's like Star Wars fans, like it like dances on this
exactly.
It dances on this line of like, this is what I think, and then versus this is how I think it should be. Like
Headcanon.
it all of a sudden it turns into that, and it's just like, oh, this is better. Like, dude, no, like you're just like me. You're just a guy on the internet, like it doesn't. And so filtering that shit out, that's like priority 1 for me. Like I don't need to listen to that.
Yeah. And what separates these theories from Justin and Beard and Green and stuff is that these people spend
they spend
much
a lot of time
in the lore, and they've made connections that we can't even think about.
It's
what makes them really
probably
cool.
at the point where it's hundreds of hours.
More like thousands.
Thousands, yeah. That's seriously, man.
Yep. All right. Next question from Gorilla Golf. What is the proper way to eat pancakes? do you pour syrup onto your pancakes, or do you dunk the pancakes into the little cup of syrup that they give you?
You douse them, man.
Yeah, man. I eat pancakes at home. No one else is trusted to make my pancakes.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, man.
You have to
Put some
use-
butter on there, smother it.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you want some mind blowing fat kid type shit? Put peanut butter on it and then put the syrup on.
Oh,
Yeah,
Damn.
it's,
I've done that with Nutella and
yes. I can't
I
take
nut
credit.
Ella.
Yeah. Yep.
all right. So I think
can't-
we're
I can't
unanimous
take-
on this one.
I was gonna say I can't take credit for that peanut butter tip. My wife taught me that. I'm just like, this is why. This
Yeah.
is why we're married.
So here's the
This is
here's the
why.
pro tip: is you douse your pancakes in syrup, and then you do the dunking method, but you use the syrup that didn't stay on the pancakes. So you have your pancakes on your fork, and then you
Correct.
wipe
So you, like,
them on the
squeegee it,
extra
yeah.
syrup that's on the side
that
of the
is
like
plate.
that.
absolutely correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There we go.
100% correct.
All right, and follow up
Let it-
question from Tiny
Let it be
Heart.
known.
Yeah, go ahead, Scott.
I just said let it be known.
Oh yeah, there and it was the proper way to eat pancakes, as discussed and confirmed here on Barely a Destiny show. So the follow-up question is: pizza toppings on pancakes or pancake toppings on pizza? If so, which? And I'm gonna just strike this from the record right now because this sounds a little bit too much like pineapple on pizza.
That sounds like a trap.
So moving on.
I
That's a
think he's
trap.
trying to get us to answer a question we're not gonna
Yep.
answer.
You're about to violate your rule there.
Yep. So moving on, Gorilla Golf's next question. If you had to switch from being a Titan main to being a Warlock or Hunter main, would you still enjoy Destiny as much? And I'm just going to jump right in here and be like, I don't understand the question.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, what's a hunter again?
Yeah.
I mean, I know like Cade is the hunter vanguard, but what exactly? I mean, as far as we know, Cade doesn't really. I know what
Warlocks
Vanguard does.
Warlocks and Hunters are just NPCs and bots that you kill in the Crucible.
Yeah,
Like Destiny
yeah.
just is a game about Titans.
Right? I mean, yeah, that new trailer was the
Yeah.
main character was a Titan.
Yeah,
It's just
confirmed.
proven.
It's just we're everybody's a Titan.
That's
If I
why the
wasn't,
other
I'm
guy
pretty sure my
died.
game
It's
would
because he
just
wasn't a
delete it,
Titan.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, yeah. All right. Next question. What would be the most Titan name you could give a person? I was thinking like Ragnarok or something.
Oh.
Smashy McBig Fists. Or Punchy the Faces.
I literally just Googled badass names and it popped up Darby. So I guess
Darby?
Darby.
All right.
Ooh, I don't know
Darby.
about that, man. Darby Crash of the Germs was like. That's the
Bort.
first Darby that I know. He's not. Yeah. He's
Rocco.
kind of a loser.
Rocco.
That's a good one.
Rocco.
Rocco Strong.
What do you think here, Dad?
Like just Bort.
Bort?
Bort. I am Bort. I work in the salt
I'm
mine.
bored.
First name Hell, middle name Yeah, last name Brother.
This is like
That one
version
wins.
2.0 of last week's question. What would you name your kid?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Oh man. I'm gonna say it's a toss-up between Lord Shax and Wei Ning.
Oh,
Ooh.
speaking the truth.
Right there.
But probably more like Wei Ning. I mean,
Elmer, what about Tyrone?
Tyrone.
Sorry, that's a callback to one of his episodes.
Yes,
I'm go-
Tyrone.
Or maybe McGriddle Deadpool.
Oh, there you go.
You know what, man? How about Thor Hammerstein? That's pretty good, right?
Thor Hammerstein. Where's the fast food in that?
Oh wait, we're doing the fast food shit. My bad, guys. My bad. How about we do Hammer McNuggets?
Hammer McNuggets. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
that's a Titan
Sounds
name.
alright.
Speaking of McNuggets,
I'm a Titan.
I make him quack. Asks,
I'm a hammer, strike you right in the face.
Oh, that's perfect.
Let me pop my bubble.
oh my God! Real
Just
quick,
wait until I get my super.
real quick. I popped a bubble today on B on Bannerfall. That thing did not go down for anything. And I got like 3 kills by popping out and shooting somebody with Fighting Lion. That's been part of the problem with Bubble, is that with the team shot meta and the time to kill being so long, is you couldn't like pop out, get a kill, and jump back in your bubble real quick. Well, you can now, and it's
I was gonna
fantastic.
say.
And I wasn't even wearing Helm of Saint 14, so
Oh shit.
yeah,
Nice.
bubbles
Imagine what that
are.
would be like with Saint 14. Somebody comes in and they're dead before they even fucking go blind.
That's like I think that's the most Titan thing you can do is pop a bubble and then shoot someone with Wei Ning's gun, Fighting Lion. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, brother.
Oh, also, I learned something else about the bubble. I popped a bubble on B to save myself from this Dawnblade. And did my trick where you throw your suppressor grenade inside the bubble. The Dawnblade was not in the bubble, but right outside the bubble.
So the suppressors
Above,
reach outside
and
the bubble,
it still took out the super.
That's amazing.
Yes. So
You are a
good.
god.
That Dawnblade was probably so pissed.
Well, wouldn't you be? You're like, I got this free kill, and then nope.
Dude, that's so awesome.
I would not be, because I don't get suppressed unless I do it to myself. All right, so next question is from I Make Him Quack, and he says, what is your perfect Sunday? And we got clarification on this because Gorilla Golf wanted it. That can be either Sunday the day or the ice cream.
Any Sunday where I don't have to go to work.
It's a good one.
Yeah, that's about right. Even better, any Sunday where I don't have to go to work on Monday as well.
Ooh, now we're raising the fucking stakes. I hear you on that, brother.
Is that the case for you this Sunday, Monday with Labor Day weekend?
It is.
Ooh. Winning right there. I have to work both days.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I was going to be off Tuesday, and then I got mandated to work because post office and day after holiday. Yay.
Yeah, I bet that's not
yeah.
fun.
I think my
Well,
perfect Sunday is a Sunday in which is the usual case where I don't have to work, can sleep in, and I'm going to have a caramel peanut sundae with sprinkles on my perfect Sunday of the day, where I'm just going to also drink all day and play video
But
games.
are you gonna have it for breakfast?
I'm going to have it 3 times for every meal.
Oh fuck yeah, that is a good Sunday. There you go. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Well, my perfect Sunday would be one that lands on April 25th because it's not too hot. It's not too cold. All you need is a light jacket.
April 25th? Why that day specifically?
You don't get the reference. You don't get to know.
Google it.
I'll have to Google it. Oh man, now I just feel dumb.
You'll
So
have
we're
to
gonna-
Google it.
So
You're
we're,
going to have to Google it, lad.
all right. So we're just gonna move on. Gorilla Golf asks, Belgian waffle or French toast?
French toast.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
say that for me it depends because I've had some really good French toast and some really bad Belgian waffles, but I've also had some amazing Belgian waffles with fresh fruit and whipped cream and syrup, and I've had some really bad French toast. So, like school lunch French toast, it's styrofoam, guys. It's basically styrofoam.
On these really good Belgian waffles, did they use regular fruit or dessert fruit?
I mean, it was kind of breakfast, so breakfast fruit. There was like some berries and I don't know.
Oh
had
man,
one
we
with
got a new
bananas.
category of fruit.
Yep.
Breakfast
Yeah,
fruit.
man. Just
Breakfast
like weapon slots change, fruit slots can change as well.
This is my primary.
Mom, where's the breakfast fruit?
I didn't want no dessert fruit.
Oh wow. I'm gonna say it used to be French toast, but now that I can't have French toast anymore because I changed my diet, it's gonna have to be Belgian waffle. And they're both delicious, so I'm not really upset about it.
Don't Belgian waffles have eggs in them though too?
You can make them without eggs. There's tricks to make everything vegan, except for meat.
Have some
tried.
vegan bacon. Nothing doesn't exist.
Oh, vegan bacon is gross.
Well, what is it?
It's some
no
form
one
of,
knows what it is.
like bean curd protein that just no.
Oh, that sounds awful. That just sounds awful.
Yeah, it's real bad.
Yeah, it's not good.
Curd. God.
All right. Last question of the night goes to Gorilla Golf. He says, what is one activity that you wish you started as a child that you never got to do? Mine was go to summer camp because we were poor. And I'll just take it right off the bat. It's piano. I wish I was one of those kids who was forced into piano because I took piano lessons for 1 year when I was in high school. And I really enjoyed it, and I thought I was progressing pretty quick, and I just kind of stopped after that. So if I had been playing piano since the age of like 5 or 6, I might be pretty good at it. And that's a beautiful instrument.
Nice.
Yeah, I got forced into the piano, so you'll hate me, because I've got this mentality where someone says you have to do this, I'm like, that's dumb. I don't want to do that. And
Yep.
so yeah, I had every opportunity to learn and just kind of blew it over. So now I have no idea how to play.
Ah,
Sorry, Zan.
ripped the dream.
I stole your dream and crushed it. I apologize.
Well, what was the activity that you wanted to do but didn't get to because you were forced into piano?
God. Well, with Gorilla Golf's point, probably anything because we were super poor. Yeah.
Anything?
No.
So Brent, Fud's childhood was spent just sitting in a corner in the dark.
We couldn't afford a corner. God, I don't know. No, probably like any sort of, like some sort of really cool like space camp or summer something, I had a lot of friends that went to cool stuff like that. Yeah, that'd have been sweet.
Space camp. That's a good choice. Scott?
Jinx
you're
and
there?
Max in space.
I don't know, man. I would have to go with. I guess. I mean, I play guitar now, but I think I'd be better if I played guitar when I was younger. So maybe that.
Can't. No,
if-
you broke the question. You never got to do. You got to play guitar. What did you not get to
Okay.
do that you wanted
Well, then
to?
I guess it would be playing hockey.
Oh,
I think,
that's a
the
good
next-
one.
The next thing, because I was into like AT and other kind of off-road and mechanical stuff when I was younger too. So that's kind of out. And I played a bunch of video games when I was young, so that's another thing. So I guess playing hockey would have been a fun thing. I gotta go with something I can't do.
There you go. Did you go get
Yeah.
that?
No, but I had
you
like
got?
the stereotypical like Asian parents where they were just like, shut up and do your homework and get good grades. And like we weren't allowed to. We weren't allowed to do anything. I didn't play
Oh.
piano. I didn't play sports. I didn't go to any camps. Like I didn't do anything other than they were just like study. Just shut up and study. And so, fuck, dude, anything would have been nice.
Any extra?
Like, I had to teach- Yeah, like I mean, I had to teach myself how to ride a bike, how to throw a football. Like that's all self-taught. I had to teach myself how to swim. I didn't learn that till I was in high school.
Ooh.
So
No shit. Wow.
yeah, man, because they're just like, no, shut up and go to school. That's it. That's all it was.
Yep.
So
Good grades, good job.
yeah, I guess.
Oh man.
But yeah, camp would have been nice. Like I never got to experience that, just being like away from home. Like I never even spent the night at a friend's house. Never.
Oh wow.
They just always thought someone was gonna abduct me or molest me or something bad was gonna happen. That was just
God
like,
damn, man.
yeah.
So what happened when you went to college? Did you like do a bunch of blow and like
No, you know what? That was
super rebel or what?
that was
That's
high
what
school.
I did.
I was like, I went.
That was high school.
Yeah.
That was middle school.
They were like, we're gonna send you to this all boys Catholic school because, like that.
That's a
Those
safe
are good
bet,
boys, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's like
sure.
they were like these super rich kids, and even it was just drugs everywhere. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay,
man.
I guess we'll do this.
I guess I'll do this.
Yeah.
So
Apparently, it was like that
I
at my
need
high
to-
school, but everyone thought I was just too much of a goody-goody, so no one ever considered even asking if I was interested.
Well, I need to study, so I'm gonna do a bunch of blow.
yeah, pretty much. I went to that high school like the middle of junior year, and I guess nobody ever like enters that high school in the middle of the year.
Yeah.
And I don't know who pulled what strings to get me in there, but
This guy's definitely a cop.
no, that's exactly what it was. They thought they called me Jump Street because they thought I was a cop,
Oh my god.
and they were just like, dude.
That's
And
awesome.
after we graduated, they told me afterwards, like, dude, when you first showed up, like nobody drank or did any drugs for like 2 months because we thought you were just all over the place. And like I was running around trying to make friends, like, hey, my name's Jay, and they're like, dude, you were trying way too hard to make friends. So I was like, all right, fine, fuck you guys then.
Right.
Hey, fellow kids.
It's like,
That's
I'm
kind
sorry
of
for
the
trying to
same
make
vibe.
friends.
Yeah. I became friends with a lot of the popular kids after high school graduation, like having beers at graduation parties or whatever, because they were just like, "Oh, we thought you were lame and wouldn't be into this stuff." I was like, I literally was never offered any of this. Like, I had
That's
no
funny,
opportunity. So
That's so bizarre. That's
Yeah.
like I guess I had some friends like across the different tribes of people in high school, but at the same time there were still kids that I just fucking hated. And
Yeah.
if I saw them to this day, and they tried to talk to me on the street, I'd probably just ignore them. Be like, excuse me, who are you? I don't think we know each other, and I'd just like walk away or something.
Right. Oh man. Well, that was a lot of fun, guys. Thanks so much, Elmer Fudd, Gear Dad, joining us tonight.
Oh,
Yeah,
of
dude.
course,
Filling-
man.
Oh,
Thanks
filling
for
in
having
for
us.
Ben.
Asking, yeah.
Yeah, it was good times. Mr. Elmer Fudd, if people wanted
my
to
God.
find you and or your podcast, where would they do so?
Oh man. Well, the podcast first and foremost, just some Guardians. You can find us on Podbean and iTunes and all that stuff. Just some Guardians. As for myself, you can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Elmer Fudd Games, a double M double D.
Hell yeah. Jay?
For the podcast, you can find us on Twitter at Anti-Meta Podcast and also on Gamerscore Radio. I swear episode 2 is coming out soon. I swear. I know it's been over a month.
We'll believe it
We're
when we see
working
it.
on it. And then if you want to find me, I'm pretty much everywhere as AKA Gear Dad. I'm going to try to start streaming more now. Hopefully. We'll see. That's it.
All right. Scott, what you got?
I actually have something extra to plug other than my usual at Slapshot Scott, the O's or Zeros, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. We talked about this a little bit in pre-show. I actually had the chance to go on the Potato Thumbs podcast with our good friend Fluffy, and there were, I think Val and Burning Wing were on there as well. And we talked about some Destiny stuff, which was fun. And we also talked about cars for like 2 hours. So if you want to hear myself and it was cool because we all had different perspectives. We all came from like different disciplines of the automotive world. Obviously, I was the off-road one, and like Burning Wing, classic old school American muscle and hot rods. Val is into like the newer supercars and tuners, and Fluffy was like the tuner / road course autocross track experience. So we all had some interesting perspectives, and we also built our like ideal garages throughout the decade. It's definitely a good one. We had a ton of fun just nerding out about cars. So if you want to hear myself and those guys talk about it, go check out the latest Potato Thumbs podcast. It was a blast.
Yeah,
That's a great show, dude. That's
I
a good
listened
listen.
to it today. It was good
Yep.
times. I'm not a car guy, but I was into it. So Good stuff. Good stuff.
Awesome.
And
man.
then
I'm glad.
you can find this show at barelyads on Twitter, or just go to barelyads.com. Find my other podcast, Lit Lore, at Bad's Lit Lore, and in the same feed. And then you can find me everywhere at Xanafan711, and on Monday nights streaming for Planet Destiny. So check that out. And again, thanks to Elmer Fudd and Gear Dad for coming on tonight. And we missed you, Ben. He should be back next week, I believe. And then until next time, be the light you want to see in others, everybody. Have a good night.
Thanks, guys.
Good night.
Stop recording.
Oh my god.
All right.
Oh, band of the week.
Oh yeah, you didn't remind everyone.
Yep.
You're the worst. Golly. I'm just
Risk a dream.
You're the best.
Ben will add it in post.
Yeah. He'll do it in
All
your
right.
voice too.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. If you're in chat, hang tight. We're going to raid somebody.
Hell yeah.
We're going to raid. Oh my
Tiny
God,
Heart,
I
you're
don't-
beautiful.
We're going to raid Mega. Hey, what's up, Zach? You missed it. I'm sorry, my dude.
Guess we have to start over. Here we go.
Go say
it
hi to
again.
Mega. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. It's been a good time.
He's playing Super Seducer too. This is gonna be great.
We'll catch y'all next
Oh,
time.
boy.